The PGA Tours have given us our fair share of golfing legends and great shows of skill, but nothing can beat the way expected underdog Will Zalatoris shot to the top of the FedEx Cup playoffs after securing his first win on tour. His journey to the top was certainly a surprise for all of us golfing fanatics out there, so in this video, we're going to take a look at how exactly he did that. First up, why is this win so important for Zalatoris? Apart from stating the obvious thrill that comes with victory, this means that Zalatoris is on track to becoming the golfer that everyone else is running after as we head toward the BMW Championship. But for him, it meant something even more. It was his first career victory on this tour. According to the stats released by the PGA Tour, Zalatoris is the first player after Camilo Villegas back in 2008 to get his first PGA Tour win during the FedEx playoffs. Before this monumental event, Zalatoris was 0 for 2 in the playoffs for 2022. Not only did he lose to Luke List during the Farmers Insurance Open in January, but he also lost out in a 3-hole playoff against Justin Thomas at the PGA Championship during the month of May. This is technically his only other professional win, with the other one happening in July, 2 whole years ago, when he won the TPC Colorado Championship on the Corn Ferry Tour. To make this victory even sweeter, Zalatoris was awarded a cool $2.7 million in cash prizes for his win on Sunday in Memphis. When you think about it like that, maybe we should reconsider a career in professional sports. Next up, let's talk about what the situation was like on the grassy championship fields. When Will Zalatoris had a disappointing start to the FedEx St. Jude Championship with a 1/71, no one expected him to be able to make his way back from that. But Zalatoris proved himself to be the horse to bet on by emerging victorious from 3 runner-up finishes and 2 playoff defeats, with success in a sudden death battle with Sepp Straka over what would be his first PGA Tour title. It turns out that his efforts paid off because this struggle allowed him to emerge at the top spot in the FedEx Cup point standings. Zalatoris sure has a lot of faith in his talent because, for him, this win was an about-time moment. It might have only been his second year as part of the tournament, but he knew that victory was meant to be his sooner rather than later. The 25-year-old talent managed to shoot a final round 4 under 66 at TPC Southwind in Memphis, and because of that, he became the second player to seize victory in his first tournament in the playoffs. Not only is he already in the top 20 currently, but his season was super fruitful prior to this as well, securing him 8 top 10s, which is a record for the most amongst players with no official victories. Next, let's talk about how it seemed like Zalatoris would end up in a tie with Straka. This was a slow burning success, with Zalatoris posting 65 on Saturday and then climbing towards a point where he was just 2 strokes away from the lead. Not only did he manage to birdie the first 3 holes in the final round, but he did so with the handicap of the third one being a 15-footer. Talk about impressive skills. But things took a bit of a downturn when he made a bogey at hole 7. Luckily, he regained his momentum at hole 10 with a birdie that put him in the lead. It was neck and neck by hole 12 when his competitor Straka made a birdie and tied with Zalatoris for the lead in the 14 under. Both these players were equally talented and converted short birdies at par 5 16th to climb together to the 15 under. Though Zalatoris pushed a 310-yard drive at the 18th hole, his approach didn't serve him as well as he thought it would because it came up short of the hole. The same went for Straka, and both players had to replay their shots. And now, let's finally talk about how Zalatoris won. Things really didn't appear to be going in Zalatoris' favor, but somehow, by some stroke of good fortune, pun intended, Straka missed his shot and his ball went into the pond. On his third try, it landed in a sand bunker. Seeing the tricky situation, Zalatoris elected to take a drop as well. This decision appeared to pay off because his third shot from 94 yards away stopped a mere 7 feet from the hole, and this was a cause of both celebration and relief for the young golfer. His victory allowed him to earn quadruple points, which unseated Scottie Scheffler, who had missed the mark on Friday but had the lead since March. Though Scheffler is world number 1, this week belongs to the victories of Zalatoris, who won for the first time in his 56th start after a lot of close calls. The golfer was planning to celebrate, victory, as he rightfully should, he knew not to let the victory get to his head, saying that, "I think I've always had the attitude of the job's not done, and as great as it is to pull it off, I still feel like I've got some unfinished business going forward. It's obviously very satisfying, but this is the peak season for us, obviously, for the PGA Tour players, and the grind continues." We think that's a pretty great attitude to have. In other news, first off, let's talk about what's next for the FedEx Cup winner. So according to the stats and data recorded by ESPN, historically, 9 of the previous winners of the FedEx Cup were in the top 5 of points standings after the first playoff event was over. This means that Zalatoris, Scheffler, Cameron Smith, Sam Burns, and Tony Finau have probably got the best odds to win as the FedEx Cup playoffs move on to the next round. For the golfing architects out there, here is a bit of historical news about the location of the playoffs. They'll be played at the Wilmington Country Club, which used to belong to the DuPont family previously. They donated it for public use, and now golfing legends as current as Justin Thomas, Patrick Rogers, and Daniel Berger played there at the 2003 Palmer Club. We think that having the next round of the FedEx playoffs happen there makes it a sweet bit of golfing history. Next up, we've talked about the victories of the weekend, but let's talk about the surprise fails as well. Unfortunately for Ricky Fowler, he was the last player in the 125-man field dedicated to the FedEx Championship. In order to make it to the BMW Championship, the struggling golfer needed to finish with at least a tie in the 11th hole. So how did he fare? Fowler was going pretty well after having an opening round of 65. He shot a 1/71 in the second round, which isn't bad, but the third round is where things began to get out of hand. He was under 3 in this round as he headed towards the 18th hole, and then things went from bad to worse. Not only did he hit his drive, but his third shot also went into the water. Plus, his 5th shot missed the green by a wide margin. Fowler needed 2 more chip shots and 2 putts to get a quintuple bogey 9 on the hole, but didn't come through. This became the worst score on a single hole during his entire PGA Tour. Whoa, guess you win some as Zalatoris did, or you lose some unfortunately, like Fowler. At least he took it like a sport, so hopefully the next time on the green is better for him. And finally, let's take a look at who's going to be joining Zalatoris in the BMW playoffs. Golfing legend Lucas Glover managed to tie in 3rd place for the FedEx St. Jude Championship. This was the biggest move in FedEx standings, with a boost from 121st position to 34th. Adam Scott moved positions as well, from 77th to 45th, and Andrew Putnam was boosted up from 87th to 47th. Unfortunately, others like Anir Ben Lahiri, Lee Hodges, John Huh, Brendan Todd, and Gary Woodland didn't make it through. Hopefully they will have better luck next time. Scott has a few thoughts about this move, saying that he felt that his game was in a good enough place that he didn't need to look for anything else. But rather, for him, it's more about putting his mind to it and going through the motions with laser focus. Because if he doesn't, it becomes a situation of being on autopilot all the time, and that makes him lose concentration and motivation to perform as well as he could. Honestly, we get that golfing every day, week after week, is super repetitive, so props to him for being so honest about his relationship with the game. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Will Zalatoris' surprise victory? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.